In the wild world of animals, survival is a constant battle. Animals face numerous threats from predators and habitat loss to climate change. However, one enemy often lurks unseen, silently impacting their lives and shaping their destinies: disease. Understanding the role of disease in animal lives is vital, not just for the well-being of wildlife, but also for the health of our planet and ourselves. Diseases are like invisible threads woven into the intricate tapestry of life. They can strike swiftly and dramatically, or they can work insidiously over time, weakening and debilitating their hosts. To truly comprehend the challenges animals face and implement effective conservation strategies, we must shine a light on these unseen enemies and grasp their profound influence on the animal kingdom. The world of disease-causing agents or pathogens is as diverse as the animals they infect. Bacteria, single-celled organisms with remarkable adaptability, can cause a range of illnesses from pneumonia to deadly anthrax. Viruses, tiny packets of genetic material, hijack cells and turn them into factories for producing more viruses, leading to diseases like rabies and avian influenza. Parasites, organisms that live on or inside a host and benefit at the host's expense, add another layer of complexity. These can range from internal parasites like tapeworms and roundworms to external parasites like ticks and mites, each with its own way of exploiting its host. The sheer variety of these microscopic foes underscores the constant pressure they exert on animal populations. The initial impact of an infection can be as varied as the pathogens themselves. Some diseases manifest dramatically, causing sudden death or visible symptoms like fever, lethargy, or disorientation. An animal struck by such an acute illness might be unable to hunt, care for its young, or escape predators, making it highly vulnerable. Other infections might cause subtler chronic effects, gradually weakening the animal over time. An animal battling a chronic infection might experience reduced growth, reproductive issues, or compromised immune function, making it more susceptible to other threats. Regardless of the immediate presentation, disease disrupts the delicate balance of an animal's life. Even when an animal survives an initial infection, the battle isn't necessarily over. Some diseases can leave lasting scars, impacting the individual's long-term health and survival. Chronic wasting disease, a prion disease affecting deer and elk, is a prime example. Infected animals may appear normal for months or even years before exhibiting neurological symptoms, ultimately leading to death. These long-term effects can have significant consequences for an animal's reproductive success. Animals weakened by disease may be less likely to find mates, reproduce successfully, or raise their offspring to independence. This ripple effect can influence population dynamics for generations to come. Section 5. When disease spreads, impacts on entire populations. The impact of disease extends far beyond individual animals. It can ripple through entire populations, sometimes with devastating consequences. When a highly contagious disease with a high mortality rate emerges in a susceptible population, it can lead to massive die-offs. The history of wildlife is littered with such outbreaks, from the rinderpest virus that decimated African ungulate populations to the chytrid fungus that continues to threaten amphibian species worldwide. Disease outbreaks can also alter the structure of ecological communities. For example, if a disease targets a dominant predator, it can lead to an increase in prey populations, potentially causing cascading effects throughout the ecosystem. Understanding these complex dynamics is crucial for effective conservation management. Section 6. Case studies: species grappling with disease threats. The plight of certain species highlights the devastating impact of disease on wildlife. The Tasmanian devil, a carnivorous marsupial endemic to Tasmania, has been driven to the brink by devil facial tumor disease, a highly contagious and fatal cancer. The disease has wiped out a significant portion of the wild population, highlighting the urgent need for disease management strategies in conservation efforts. Another poignant example is the American chestnut. Once a dominant tree species in eastern North America, the introduction of chestnut blight, a fungal disease in the early 20th century, led to the functional extinction of the species. These cases underscore the importance of understanding disease dynamics and the need for proactive measures to mitigate their impact. Section 7, the human factor, our role in animal disease dynamics. Humans play a complex and often detrimental role in the spread of animal diseases. As we encroach further into wildlife habitats, fragment landscapes, and trade animals globally, we create pathways for pathogens to jump between species and spread rapidly. The emergence of zoonotic diseases, those that can be transmitted between animals and humans, is a stark reminder of our interconnectedness with the animal world. Factors like climate change, which can alter the distribution and behavior of both animals and pathogens, further complicate the picture. Recognizing and understanding our role in disease emergence and spread is crucial for developing effective strategies to mitigate these risks. Section 8. Conservation in the Age of Disease, Strategies for Protection. In an era of unprecedented global change, protecting wildlife requires a multifaceted approach that recognizes the significant threat posed by disease. Disease surveillance and monitoring programs are essential for detecting outbreaks early and implementing rapid response measures. Research into disease ecology, including understanding pathogen transmission and host susceptibility, is crucial for developing effective control strategies. In some cases, vaccination programs targeting specific diseases have proven successful in protecting vulnerable populations. Ultimately, a holistic approach that addresses habitat loss, climate change, and other stressors on wildlife populations is essential for bolstering their resilience to disease. GAP3S. Section 9. Emerging diseases in wildlife. As human activities continue to encroach on natural habitats, wildlife is increasingly exposed to novel pathogens. Emerging diseases like chronic wasting disease in deer and white nose syndrome in bats are just a few examples of how rapidly these threats can spread. The interconnectedness of ecosystems means that an outbreak in one species can have cascading effects, altering predator-prey dynamics and impacting biodiversity. The rise of these diseases underscores the urgent need for ongoing research, surveillance, and collaborative international efforts to mitigate their impacts. By staying vigilant and proactive, we can help safeguard wildlife from the ever-present threat of emerging diseases. GAP3S Section 10. The role of climate change. Climate change is an increasingly significant factor in the spread and emergence of diseases in wildlife. Rising temperatures, shifting weather patterns, and extreme climatic events are altering habitats and forcing animals to migrate, often bringing them into contact with new pathogens and host species. For instance, warmer temperatures have expanded the range of ticks, increasing the incidence of Lyme disease in both wildlife and humans. Similarly, changes in precipitation patterns can create ideal conditions for the spread of mosquito-borne diseases like West Nile virus. The stress of adapting to rapidly changing environments can weaken animals' immune systems, making them more susceptible to infections. As climate change continues to reshape our world, it amplifies the challenges faced by wildlife, making it imperative to integrate climate considerations into our strategies for disease prevention and control. By addressing climate change, we not only protect the health of wildlife, but also contribute to the broader goal of preserving biodiversity and ecosystem stability. GAP3S. Video transitions to the next scene. GAP3S, Section 11, Human-Wildlife Interactions. As human populations expand and encroach on natural habitats, interactions between humans and wildlife are becoming more frequent. This increased contact can lead to the transmission of diseases from animals to humans and vice versa. For example, deforestation and urbanization often displace wildlife, forcing them into closer proximity with human settlements. This can result in the spread of zoonotic diseases such as Ebola, which has been linked to human contact with infected wildlife. Moreover, the global wildlife trade, both legal and illegal, poses significant risks. Animals are often transported across great distances, sometimes in poor conditions, creating opportunities for pathogens to spread. Markets where wild animals are sold can become hotspots for disease transmission, as seen in the case of the SARS and COVID-19 pandemics, which are believed to have originated in such settings. Human activities not only increase the risk of disease transmission, but also contribute to the stress and decline of wildlife populations, making them more susceptible to infections. It is crucial to understand and manage human-wildlife interactions to mitigate these risks. By promoting sustainable practices and enforcing regulations on wildlife trade, we can protect both animal and human health. Understanding the dynamics of human-wildlife interactions is a critical component in our efforts to prevent disease outbreaks and ensure the well-being of all species. As we continue to share our planet, fostering a harmonious coexistence with wildlife is essential for the health of our ecosystems and ourselves. GAP3S. Video transitions to the next scene. GAP3S. Section 12. Conservation efforts. As we delve deeper into the challenges faced by wildlife, it becomes evident that proactive conservation efforts are crucial to mitigating disease risks. Conservation organizations around the world are working tirelessly to protect habitats, enforce anti-poaching laws, and rehabilitate endangered species. These efforts not only preserve biodiversity but also create healthier ecosystems where diseases are less likely to spread. For instance, reforestation projects can restore natural habitats, providing wildlife with the space they need to thrive away from human settlements. Additionally, vaccination programs for domestic and wild animals are being implemented to curb the spread of infectious diseases. Community involvement is also key. Educating local populations about the importance of wildlife health and sustainable practices can lead to more effective conservation strategies. By fostering a sense of stewardship, we can ensure that future generations inherit a world teeming with diverse and healthy wildlife. Together, through dedicated conservation efforts, we can build a future where humans and animals coexist harmoniously, free from the looming threat of disease. Our planet's health depends on the collective actions we take today. GAP3S. Video transitions to the next scene. GAP3S. Section 13. Success stories. Amidst the challenges, there are inspiring tales of triumph that highlight the resilience of both animals and the dedicated individuals working to protect them. In Africa, the mountain gorilla population is steadily increasing, thanks to intensive conservation efforts and community engagement. In Australia, the Tasmanian devil, once on the brink of extinction due to a devastating facial tumour disease, is making a comeback through innovative breeding programs and disease management strategies. Across the globe, countless species are being brought back from the edge through targeted interventions, habitat restoration, and public awareness campaigns. These success stories serve as powerful reminders that with commitment and collaboration, we can create a brighter future for wildlife. They illustrate that every action counts, and that together we can overcome even the most daunting challenges to ensure the survival and health of our planet's incredible biodiversity. GAP3S. Video transitions to the next scene. GAP3S. Section 14. Future challenges. As we look ahead, the fight to protect animal health is far from over. Emerging diseases driven by factors such as habitat destruction, climate change, and increased human-wildlife interactions pose new and significant threats to wildlife populations. The rapid spread of diseases like white nose syndrome in bats and chytrid fungus in amphibians underscores the urgency of the situation. Additionally, antibiotic resistance is a growing concern, making it harder to treat infections in both animals and humans. Conservationists and scientists are racing against time to develop new strategies and technologies to combat these threats. From cutting-edge genetic research to global disease monitoring networks, the tools at our disposal are evolving, but so are the challenges we face. The resilience of our planet's wildlife depends on our ability to adapt and innovate. It is a race against time, and every second counts. GAP3S. GAP3S. Section 15. The importance of research. In the battle against animal diseases, research stands as our most potent weapon. Scientists and researchers around the globe are working tirelessly to understand the mechanisms of diseases, their transmission, and their impacts on various species. This research is crucial in developing vaccines, treatments, and preventative measures that can save countless animal lives. Advanced technologies, such as genomic sequencing and AI-driven data analysis, are providing new insights at an unprecedented pace. Collaborative efforts between governments, NGOs, and research institutions are fostering innovation and accelerating the development of solutions. However, research requires sustained funding, political will, and public support. By investing in scientific research, we are not only protecting animal health, but also safeguarding our ecosystems and, ultimately, our own well-being. The knowledge we gain today will shape the strategies of tomorrow, ensuring a healthier future for all species. GAP3S. At GAP 3S Section 16, Community Involvement. When it comes to combating animal diseases, community involvement is crucial. Local communities are often the first to notice changes in animal health and can provide invaluable early warnings. Engaging communities in monitoring and reporting can lead to quicker responses and more effective interventions. Education and awareness programs can empower individuals to take action, from practicing responsible pet ownership to supporting wildlife conservation efforts. Volunteers and citizen scientists play a vital role in collecting data, rehabilitating sick animals, and advocating for policies that protect animal health. By fostering a sense of stewardship, communities can become powerful allies in the fight against animal diseases. Together we can create a network of vigilance and care that spans the globe, ensuring healthier futures for all creatures. GAP 3S. GAP 3S, Section 17, Global Cooperation. Tackling the complex issue of animal diseases requires unprecedented levels of global cooperation. International organizations, governments, scientists, and non-profits must work together to share knowledge, resources, and strategies. By pooling expertise and coordinating efforts, we can develop more effective vaccines, improve disease surveillance, and implement swift responses to outbreaks. Collaborative research initiatives can lead to groundbreaking discoveries, while unified policies can ensure that all nations are equipped to protect their animal populations. It's only through collective action that we can hope to address the multifaceted challenges posed by animal diseases. Together we have the power to create a healthier world for all species. GAP 3S. Section 9. Conclusion: recognizing the importance of animal health. The health of animals, both wild and domestic, is inextricably linked to our own well-being. By understanding the complex interplay between animals, pathogens, and the environment, we can better protect wildlife, safeguard our food supply, and mitigate the risks of zoonotic disease emergence. Recognizing the importance of animal health is not just an act of compassion, but a critical investment in the health of our planet and the future of all species, including our own.